today with Ryan LaFontaine from the LaFontaine Automotive Group, and we're going to talk a little bit about the LAFF pathways. But Ryan, first I want to thank you for being a major sponsor for LAFF-A-Palooza, and maybe you could tell us a little bit about LaFontaine's support for community events.
Well, it's big. It's actually something that, and first of all, thanks for having me on. Thanks for being a part of this. Secondly, obviously, grassroots marketing is really what we founded our company on. My mom, back in the day when we started the store, we literally bought a small, tiny store in downtown Milford, and she went door to door, just talking to all the business people and saying, what can we do to get involved? How can we give back? So she built grassroots marketing really at the beginning. She taught myself, my sister, and our entire family the importance to make sure you give back to the communities that do so much for you. I live right here in Fenton, right? I actually currently am living in Linden, moving obviously in Fenton in that regards because we're building a house, but I love this community. My wife obviously grew up obviously in Linden, so we want to sit here and support this community that's just great. This area is growing so much, and this path just can connect them all. So we're just proud, obviously, with our business here in Fenton. Obviously, we have dealerships in Birch Run and continually adding. We just want to sit here and give back to the community that's just awesome. I love this area. Just very proud of it.
Okay, very good. So with LAFF-A-Palooza, that's a phase one of our pathway development.
Sure.
What is it specific about that event that you think is good for the community? I understand you've got kids,
yeah.
And so I've seen a lot of children on the pathway itself, but what is it specifically about the pathway that?
So when you look at connecting the three townships, right? When you look at obviously anything you can do health-wise, I'm big in health. I work out with a personal trainer every single day. I have 5 kids, so between my wife, Wendy, and myself, we're busy all the time. So when you look at these great areas and having a pathway that connects them all, so people can do the bike riding, can do the running, can do obviously sit here and support good health, while obviously tying the communities together, obviously from those pathways, it was just a no-brainer for us. So when my sister and Savannah brought it to my attention, I'm like, we have to get involved. We got to give back. There's a perfect way to really bring the family deal, right? That family philosophy, and support it in a family way. Obviously with LAFF-A-Palooza in those regards. Sorry, I almost said it wrong. And all the events coming up. So just very excited to be part of it.
Okay. And in all those communities, what would you like people to know about LaFontaine Automotive?
So LaFontaine Automotive, we're family-run business. So we really give back to the communities. When we obviously talk about that, I'm on a chamber board myself. We get involved, we get active. We make sure obviously we are doing our part, not just as a business. It's great to have a business community, but it's our backyard. It's where we live. I want to make sure that we sit here and make these 3 areas just the best that they can be and just be a part of that growth. It's amazing to see the growth already, but there's people in these communities that just care, right? They want to see better. And obviously for our dealership to be a part of an event like this where we can contribute and obviously help that success and obviously help grow these pathways and a starting point and get even more and more involved in the community, we're just very proud.
Okay. Well, Ron, I want to thank you once again because LAFF-A-Palooza 2020 was not going to happen without the support of our major sponsors, of which your group is. And so thank you very much for supporting us in such a positive way.
Well, we appreciate that, and we appreciate you having us be a part of it, especially in years like this. It's been a unique year, right? This adversity we've been facing, none of us want to face, but it's also brought us together more as a family to make sure we're family strong, we're focused on each other, helping each other, being there for each other, and giving back in ways like this. So we're very appreciative to be part of it.
Okay, thanks again.
Thank you.
Okay, we're out here this morning on the LAFF pathway with Tom Birchie from the State Bank, and Tom is the Vice President of Commercial Banking, and we're going to talk a little bit about the pathway. But first, I just wanted to thank you, Tom, for the support from the State Bank, because this event was not going to happen without their support. But tell us a little bit about State Bank and their involvement with community events.
Okay. Well, the State Bank, being the community bank obviously in this area, we pride ourselves in giving back to the communities in which we serve. So our staff is very involved, whether it's community activities or representing the bank in different organization structures, and so it's what we do as a community bank.
Okay, great. And what is it specific about LAFF-A-Palooza and the pathways that the bank is interested in supporting?
Well, again, being the community bank, it's all about serving our communities, and within this we are able to help with the infrastructure within the locations of our branches, so it gives us opportunities again to help support these local areas.
Yeah, and tell me a little bit about the branches. I know there's the main branch sort of in downtown Fenton, but what are the other State Bank locations?
Well, we have many in Fenton. We're in Linden and Holly. We go south is Brighton. We're just opening North Oakland County location as well, and then we have 8 locations in the Saginaw County area. And the bank we had purchased up there helped us expand our market.
Oh, I didn't know it was the State Bank was so far-reaching. So that's good to know. I've noticed that there's a lot of people that are using the pathway already. Have you seen folks on the path as far as?
Yeah, matter of fact, I live right over here off to our side here, and so I've been seeing the whole path to be developed, and now seeing the use of the path, many people walking, skateboarding, biking, strollers, everything across the sun here, so it's a beautiful thing so far.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Tom, for being with us today. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us about the State Bank?
Not exactly. Again, we're a local community bank wanting to help serve our communities, and it's what we do around here. A lot of people that live and work here in the towns and so forth, so we love being a partner in the community.
Well, we really appreciate your support and look forward to continued support by the State Bank.
Great. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you. Okay, we're out here on the LAFF pathway this morning, and we're with Victor Lukasavitz, who is an avid bicyclist, an engineer. He's one of the founding fathers of LAFF Pathways, and also a longtime area resident. So, Victor, can you share with us a little bit about the early history of the pathway development in this area?
Well, in 2009, there was a group of us that felt we were neglected down here, kind of the poor stepchild of Genesee County with no pathways. So we started talking about how can we fix that. And we got together, brought some community leaders together, some elected officials together, just had a general meeting to see if there was an interest and do some exploration. And from that we decided to move forward and officially form a group to be like the flag wavers. The LAFF Pathways is what we formed, and set up a board of directors, bylaws, and started working with the local communities to bring forth non-motorized recreational facilities.
Yeah, so 2009, and here we are 2020, so with my math that would be 11 years, so it's been a long time in the making.
Yep, it started out slow. We had to investigate who was interested, who wasn't, who would participate on committees and move it forward. Sometimes it takes 5 to 10 years to actually place the first facility. And that's about where we were here, quite honestly. And funding was part of the difficulty. The state changed their funding process right after we formed the group in about 2009, 2010, so it meant they were giving less money, so we had to find more local money or find different mixes for the grants, mixed matches for the grants. So that slowed it down a little bit as well.
Okay, and so now that we have put it on the ground here, I know that a lot of people have been using the pathway, but what would be the vision for the future of the pathway? Oh, here, Ed Colito.
Imagine that, meeting on the pathway.
Yeah, just happened to be in the neighborhood here. So we've got Ed Colito here, former superintendent of Linden Schools, current executive director of Southern Lakes Park and Recreation, and also the chair of LAFF Pathways Incorporated. So Ed, you've got many hats that you're wearing these days, but share with us a little bit about the pathways from your perspective.
Well, for me, it's a labor of love. And, Vic mentioned it was 2009 and I was superintendent. He was some crazy guy I just met, fellow veteran. And the next thing you know, this idea is moving forward, and the next thing we know, the idea is on the ground. And now for me to really, Vic's the one that got me involved to begin with, but now being the chairman of LAFF and also the director for Southern Lakes Parks and Rec, I really feel like I'm taking the torch, and Vic supported me every step of the way with many people, but the ability we have as a community to put this together and get the next phase done from Linden to Fenton, and then continue after that to increase these pathways and get them interconnected to other pathways that go really throughout the whole state with that Iron Bell Trail. It's a labor of love for me now, and I really feel like I'm following in great footsteps, and hopefully we'll lead this forward to someone else that'll take these footsteps and continue to put these non-motorized pathways connecting our communities. I mean, when I was a kid, I grew up in Royal Oak. If you couldn't ride your bike there, you wouldn't do it. And I know times have changed, but still providing that safe ability for our kids to get around our community on bikes for school, for after-school activities, for going down fishing at the mill pond, or even when Vic and I were talking about an apparatus he's almost got half designed already to tow a kayak from your bike.
Really?
So you can actually get to the river through the pathways. I mean, it never stops to amaze me the things you think of to do once you're out and about in the great outdoors, and these pathways just help proliferate that.
They've already built a 2 kayak cart to pull behind a tandem bike so that you can go and do both
Really?
exercise opportunities at the same time, in essence. So, but as far as where this can reach, I had a goal, and we talked about an LAFF, and we met with the state parks system and Seven Lakes, Village of Holly, and Holly Township. This could be, from where it now begins and is on the ground, a 16.5-mile one-way trip to Waterworks Park and Holly through those other communities and in cooperation with them and the Seven Lakes State Park. It's been talked about. We walked it. There are some preliminary plans on various segments already completed. They just need to have the additional funding and keep the group together and moving forward.
Well, that's absolutely fantastic, and with the dedication from you two gentlemen, I think people need to get on board this train. It's started here in Argentine Township and into the town of Linden through Fenton Township.
Yep.
So yeah, let's keep that going. So thank you very much for being with us today, and let's continue building that path.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
LAFF-A-Palooza 2020. Be there.
Yep. Ribbon cutting tomorrow.
All right.